She also says, it is my intention that I experience a harmonious lifestyle. It is my intention that I experience health and energy that leads me into creative adventures. It is my intention that I am well provided for and that I experience food and shelter in great abundance, that I can experience in life, that I experience life in great abundance, and that I can pass this great abundance on and share it with others. Power of intention, right? Can you imagine if we just went through our now day activating our golden pillar of light, activating all of our chakras and being in creative mode? Ho'oponopono. Also throughout the day, imagine that pillar of light coming down through your 12 chakra systems. These are vortexes, and when they are activated, they spin and they bring down light code filament, which will bundle the 12 helix light codes in the body. There you have it. She also recommends spinning every day, and I have been practicing it, and it's really a trip. Okay, so the way it works is you put your thumb out in front of you, but pretend my arm is fully extended, and you stare at your thumb, and you spin your body in circles 33 times. So as you're spinning, you're keeping your eye on your thumb. So when I make a full rotation, I'm back looking at that tree. 1, 2, 3. I don't stop. I keep spinning. And you start off really slow. Not me. I started off really fast because I thought it was hilarious. And I wanted to see if I could stay in the same spot underneath my feet without moving. It's like a roller coaster ride. So you just do it and you're spinning 1, 2, 33 times. First time I did it, and then after that, you're supposed to put your palms together and keep your eyes open and look forward. The whole world's like, woo, 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 woo. And you're like falling over as you do it. And the first time I did it, I closed my eyes, and I didn't. It wasn't as intense because you're not seeing what's happening. So then I remembered what to do. So I've only done it 3 or 4 times, but you do spend less as you practice. So you press your hands together in front of your message center. You look straight and keep your eyes open. So anyway, 3 times a day, she said, if you do it once a day, good. If you do it twice a day, great. She said, humanity, if you do it 3 times a day, very good. It was kind of like, that's the goal. 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, before you go to bed, do your 33 spins. Okay, what else? Yeah, build up to 33 spins very slowly. Once a day can build up your speed. The goal is to spin 3 times a day, 33 times by looking at your thumb, total of 99 spins in a day. Oh, have your feet shoulder width apart. She says this tremendously expedites the spinning chakras in your body. Okay. Daily grounding is necessary as we are expanding our awareness to the higher levels of dimensions. We need the light connection to ground us and keep our nervous systems intact. I thought that was very important to hear. Grounding will help us keep our nervous systems intact, especially as we move forward on these precarious times. Whether it's politics, religion, wars, diseases, whatever we are presented with as Earth continues its shift over the next 5 years, 25 years, we want our nervous systems to be calm. So please practice on it. I like that it's good for our nervous system, especially for things happening. It's so funny. I was talking to Hobby about this. He's not on the call today, but you know how we have these moments of bliss, these moments of joy, where we're so expanded in this bliss for a moment that we feel so much love and happiness, and can be so short. maybe last a minute, maybe 5, maybe an hour. Just like, wow, everything is just so, I'm so happy. I'm so alive. I feel so good. I'm so grateful. It is a frequency that you're being given. It's a blessing. And it's coming through your body to experience. And Barbara mentions in this, the Pleiadians mention, when you have this experience, you need to share it. It is a frequency given to you. So ground into it, know it's there, feel it, be aware of it, more presently aware of it. Instead of just going, wow, I feel so good. Just take a moment to go, wow, I'm on a high frequency ride right now. This is amazing. And then set with your intention, I share this. As Karen would say, I dedicate this to Mother Earth and all sentient beings. And just let that come through you into Earth and all sentient beings. Because now you're of service. And the more you're of service, the more that frequency you're going to receive, you're going to get. She says, when I'm feeling an altered state, such as extreme happiness or joy or expansion, I notice it, I accept it, I turn it into a conduit, good word. And I am the vehicle of this data. I give this energy, this information to Earth. She says, continue to do this. It will make more sense later on. I make the decree that emotions can be trusted. I decree that emotions are good. And if they are safe, that they can take me somewhere. They are beneficial and that they are not in the way or misunderstood. When an emotion is released in you, look at it, what it does for you. When you have a fight with your children and afterwards you cry, look at what that emotion is doing for you. Whenever you are in emotion, you are accessing information from many realities. Find that frequency and hold it. That's the goal. It is to recognize the emotion and feel it, but not to label it good or bad. It is just information to hold. That's an interesting theory. You know, Karen and I were studying under a gal named Judy Quartz, and she talks about this duality matrix and to stay neutral. Do not have emotions, no emotions. And Karen and I did it, and we got really good at it. And it was very boring. I didn't like it. And so we talk, Karen and I talk about it. It's like, I think what we realize is that emotions is the glory of life. It is what makes us feel beautiful and the beauty in life. And when you experience sadness, you experience love because you understand how precious everything is and how to have compassion for those that are suffering. If we didn't experience suffering, how are we going to hold compassion? Because we've evolved our consciousness enough that we don't experience a lot of suffering anymore, but we can have so much compassion for those people on their journey. You know, it's getting to that Buddha state of such compassion and empathy and love to hold that space for everybody and everything. Like somebody that's killing somebody across the street. We've talked about this. How can you have compassion for that person? How can you not get angry? And well, you can, of course, but the goal is that person is right where they are on their journey for a reason. Maybe the person they killed them and all their children last lifetime. You don't know, and it's none of your business, honestly. All you can do is say, oof, have compassion for them where they are on their journey. I can just send love to them, the person that's doing the harm and the person receiving the harm, because that's just, everything is divinely guided. They are exactly where they need to be on their path. If you judge it, you are judging. You're judging, period. Don't do it. Just stop. Just look at it with compassion. You don't want to judge things that are happening because you think you know more than whatever's controlling what's part of what's happening. You're judging the universe. You're judging things as being divinely guided. You're judging everything because you're not in trust. When you're judging, you're not in trust and you live in fear, period. And so we need to let go of that fear and just love people for where they are and see the beauty, you know, and if, of course, we can't maybe see the beauty in that pain that we're watching, that suffering, you know, especially for me, it's when women or children are being hurt, I just get so triggered. I get angry. I step in. You know, my mom can tell you stories of things I did as a young child. This man was yelling at this little boy because he lost his sister on the beach and he was shaking him and yelling. And I ran over and I said, "You're the adult." I was like 8. It's your responsibility. Quit yelling at him, you know? And I was so upset for that little boy. And throughout my life, it's been a thing. It's just something that I have to learn to, but I always will. If it's a woman or child, I'm stepping in because that's, you know, our job is Archangel Michael coming in. But the goal is to step in with love and to step in with light and to step in with wisdom and not to be lower our frequency to their frequency of anger. Because if we lower our frequency to their frequency, we have poured gas on the fire. That's what you're doing, right? So so we need to bring water. We need to bring love and light and peace to every situation and bring calmness and harmony to it. We've come so far, haven't we? I mean, when we think back of who we were just 10 years ago with our judgments and our opinions, we've come so far. Now we've got these beautiful things like Ho'oponopono to help us evolve so quickly, so fast. Like Karen said the other day, it was Ho'opono's the missing link. It is a missing link. Thank you, Pleiadians. Thank you, Kahuna Morna. Just when I say her name, I get tears. It's interesting because I was certified as a Ho'oponopono practitioner with Ialakala's trainings, and I don't know her, but when I think of her, I get teary. It's her essence that's with me. I call on her, not Ialakala, which I love him, but she is, boy, I mean, you guys can call on her to be present with you when you're doing Ho'oponopono, and you will have, you'll be moved to tears with her love energy. So can we share our stories about our experiences with ETs? Let's let's just be as real as we can. And you know, try not to make them over 5 minutes, but if you could just share your story, that would be really fun. I can share a couple that are really quick. Craig and I have been talking about Pleiadians, and I told him about this book and what's happened, and we were driving to Clear Lake, and this bright white light, like a lantern, a light was on like a machine in the sky in front of us. We were at a stop sign. It was in the country, so nobody was behind us. So we stayed there and just stared. And it was Craig that noticed. He goes, "What is that?" And I said, "That is a bright light." And he goes, "It's not moving." I'm like, "It's not moving." I'm like, "It's a drone." And he says, "Yeah, it's a drone." So we just sat there and stared at it. And it didn't move. And it was a very, very big bright light. Like, you know, when your mind just trying to think of everything else it is besides an ET or an or a UFO. And we just sat there, we started laughing and we're looking at it, we're like, it is unexplained. This is an unexplained object, flying object, right? UFO. And so we just sat there and then we looked at each other and laughed and looked back and it was gone. We looked at each other, looked back, it was gone. It was hilarious. We thought, "Oh, look at us." And I think it's because we're talking about it. And then another experience I had, I was 25 and I had a bunch of friends over. We had a party and me and my girlfriends took a walk on a trail because it was just too much noise. And I lived on this hill and we laid down and we were looking at the stars, me and my 2 girlfriends, and these 3 lights were in the stars dancing, playing together, going around each other, doing this magic, coming. And we said, "What?" And we all saw it. It was so clear and obvious. And we sat there and watched the show for us for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And then they just went away. And it was incredible. It was really fun. So, Mom, why don't you share your story? Because I love my mom's story of her experience.
When the summer that I was 16 years old, I had a little cute boyfriend, and he did not have a car. He had a motorcycle. And my father was an ex-motorcycle rider, and he didn't want me on that motorcycle. So on special occasions, he would loan us his Cadillac, and we would go driving because it was just the joy of being in a fancy Cadillac. We didn't even have a destination. But way out in the country beyond where we lived at the time, which was in the valley, so you know how sparse that was. And we're talking 68, 67. And we're driving around, and he's driving, and I've got my head out the window because it's early summer and it's beautiful. And I'm just watching everything go by, stars going by, just relaxing, enjoying. And all of a sudden, and mind you, he's still driving, I see a light that kind of comes up over the horizon, and it's just kind of going here and there, and it's just kind of moving around erratically, which was beyond my experience for sure. So I had to pull over. And of course, we're talking bench seats. So he slides over next to me, and we've got our heads out this window, and we're watching this big ball of light just move around. And pretty soon, it just kind of comes down on the horizon. And it literally is, the word is hovering. It's just kind of going like this. And it was way out there. But of course, it's dark, so we don't know how way out there it was. I was always a smart ass. People will tell you I'm still a smart ass, but I try to keep it down to respectful. I didn't at that point. So I'm saying to my cute boyfriend, I can make that come to me. And he goes, girl. And I'm concentrating on it. And I'm saying, come to me, come to me. And it comes flying across the horizon, getting bigger by the second. And of course, we both just completely freak out. And I go, no, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. No. And it went way back and stopped and just continued to hover. And I did that 2 more times before I lost my courage. I said, I need to go home. I need my mommy and I need my daddy. And so he was waiting for me to say it because he wanted to leave too. So he slides over and he starts the car, and I continue to watch, and this ball of light comes up and it's stopped. And out from underneath it comes 4 little tiny lights, and they're all different colors. And they line up against next to it, and each one of them grows to the same size as the original light. And then they're going crazy all over us. And it was the most, and keep in mind, we weren't drinking and we weren't smoking and we weren't doing any alteration of our brains. We were just a couple of kids in a summer night. It was pretty wild. I got no answers beyond that. I didn't get a message other
Thank
than
you.
it's a reality to keep my mind open and to keep the possibilities flowing. That's what I got out of it.
Beautiful. Anybody else?
I had an experience, I guess it was back in 2020, because, we were in lockdown and everything. And then Spirit told me to read the Pleiadian books. And so I said, wait a minute, I already have those books. So I was reading them. And then one night I had an experience. I was sleeping. And I remember one point I wanted to wake up, but I couldn't wake up. And there was aliens working on my body. They had me knocked out, sleep. I couldn't wake up. And they were reconnecting all my 12 strands of DNA. It was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like intuitively I knew what they were doing. It's like, okay, I go for it.
Thank you. Amazing. Time is flying. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm so grateful we got together. to talk about this. Life is exciting. It's fun. Enjoy. See you tomorrow for the healing group. Bye.